New all-year-round parking charges for Torbay will be the final nail in the coffin of the town centres, councillors have claimed. Torbay Council on Thursday night voted to scrap its seasonal winter and summer parking tariffs and instead introduce new all-year-round charges. The new parking charges are across the board more expensive than the winter charges, but in some instances, cheaper than the current summer charges. These are the changes proposed to new year-round pay and display charges for on-street parking in Torbay for November 2018. Proposed new year-round pay and display charges for off-street parking in Torbay for November 2018. Proposed new parking permit charges in Torbay for November 2018. Councillors were told that the changes would make the tariffs easier to understand, had been supported by businesses, and would help them. The council hit their target of a 3% year-on-year growth in income from parking charges. Latest from across Torbay. Torquay News. Paynton. Latest Brixham News. But despite being approved, it was slammed by opposition Liberal Democrats, as well as two Conservative councillors who said that all the charges would do is to drive even more people to out-of-town shopping centres like the Willows, or to Newton Abbot. Tory CLLR James O'Dwyer said, "This proposal is a naked money grab to cover the council's loss-making investments. This is an anti-business proposal and will penalise the residents and will be the final death knell for the town centres. It will be far more preferable for anyone to use internet shopping than to just pop into town for a couple of hours and have to pay £3 to park. We are more expensive than other places to park, and will we actually get more income from this? Who knows? We know that our town centres are struggling, but will more people come into the town with these tariffs? We know that the council needs more money, but this system penalises everyone and there are no winners." His fellow Conservative CLLR Terry Manning added, "The little shops already at a disadvantage compared to the big shops on the edge of town that have free parking. We are trying to keep the little shops open, but putting the tariffs up is just driving another nail in the coffin of them and our town centres." Lib Dem CLLR Swith and long disagreed with it being a naked money grab, and instead said, "As we will be losing so much money to Newton Abbot, it will be exactly the opposite." Liberal Democrats had proposed an amendment that would see on-street parking charges at 50p for 1 hour rather than the £1.40 as proposed, with the rest of the parking charges adjusted accordingly to ensure that the income targets are still met. CLLR Christine Carter said, "I would encourage you to support this as shoppers are far more likely to stop if you only have to spend 50p for an hour than £1.40. Paynton in particular would benefit from the extra footfall as it suffers from people not stopping at all. More people would stop and shop and therefore it would generate more income and help our shops." CLLR Mandy Darling said, "I am astonished at the negativity tonight about this. At the end of the day, our towns are dying. We are trying to compete with the Willows, but parking there is free, and we know that people are also heading to Newton Abbot instead. We have to get people back into our town centres or we will have more and more shops closing, and then no one parking as there are no shops left, and therefore no income at all." Since 2014, around £400,000 has been lost in unpaid penalty charge notices in Devon. Image, file image, the average Devon house price and what you can get for your money. CLLR long added that colleagues of his who live in Torbay but work in Ashburton as he does already say that they stop off in Newton Abbot on their way home to do their shopping rather than in Torquay. CLLR O'Dwyer said that he couldn't support the amendment as it was financially illiterate and irresponsible. He said, "This is purely so you can put this on posters around the town as it is not a sensible proposal that I can support." And CLLR Dave Thomas, Conservative group leader, said he would like to support the amendment, but having done the maths, he couldn't. He said, "What they actually are proposing is a 50p of 1 hour, but an increase for 65% on the rest of the parking charges." Councillors voted against the amendment and then for the initial proposal for the new parking tariffs. Torbay parking is changing on the proposed changes. CLLR Robert Excel, executive-led for community services, said that the charges won't please everyone, but will be for the benefit of the community. He added, "This is what the people want and we are here to represent them." Businesses said that they wanted a single tariff and one fair price to move away from a seasonally based tariff system. CLLR Mike Morey added, "Nobody wants increases, and I agree with CLLR Odewer that we want to attract people into the town centers as much as possible. But given our budgetary constraints, this is the best that we can come up with." He added that he was pleased that Brixham remains a special case with a 60p parking charge for 30 minutes for off-street car parks. The council was told that officers have analyzed the parking income figures for the previous 2 years, and the results clearly indicate that the proposed year-round pay and display charges for on-street and off-street parking should generate the income target. The new tariffs do also include specific winter tariffs in beach car parks. CLLR Dirk Mills added, "There is no good us debating what we can or not do, as this is the last chance to do it to legally change the charges for the winter. We have got to do it to raise the money for the budget." Councillors voted in favor of the new parking tariffs, with Liberal Democrats voting against the proposals and CLLR's Odewer and Manning abstaining. The new charges take effect from November 1, 2018.